Okay, I'm going to make my big long form explaining a bunch of Deltarune theories I have. Let's get started. I don't know why I said let's get started. I then continued to bounce on my trampoline, but let's get started for real this time. So, theory 1, or technically theory 4, because of my 3 shorts. Now, I think that the end of the prophecy is definitely gonna be, horrible. I think that's quite obvious, but I don't think it's just gonna be bad. I think it's gonna end up with, the roaring actually happening, and then them not being able to stop it, and they actually have to do, a reset to fix it, or something like that. Because the fact that Susie would smash it just doesn't make sense. And the thing is, we're in Deltarune, we're on, one of the last panels of the prophecy. I can't exactly remember it, but I know it says, love finds its way to the girl, and then, I'm pretty sure, it shows the end of the prophecy that Susie smashes. Which means, we're on the final part of it. Which is clearly not good, but, it could also mean that Noelle, which is the love that Susie found, dies. And the reason I think that is because we know that in Chapter 6, Susie is bringing Noelle to the next Dark World. So, the end of the prophecy could show her dying, but if so, why would Susie bring Noelle to the Dark World knowing that? Next theory, this one is about the weird route. So we know at the end of Deltarune basically the beginning of Deltarune Chapter 5, if you're doing the weird route, you will go to the lake and basically drown yourself. Now, what do I think is going to happen after that? Well, we know nothing happens in Chapter 6 because, if I'm correct, it says insert Chapter 7. So I think Chapter 6, if you're doing the weird route, it's either not going to work or it's going to be, basically nothing. But what do I think Chapter 7 is going to be about? Well, we know Onion-san heard, a singing down at the bottom of the lake. So I think that's where we're going to go in Deltarune Chapter 7 with Noelle. And we're either going to find Onion-san, or we're going to find that stupid bird NPC that probably killed her. Her? Yeah? I think? Whatever, it's an onion, who cares? Although, in the weird route, I don't even know if Onion-san we don't even know if Onion-san dies, because we don't see the normal NPC. So, who really knows? But they're probably still dead. My next theory is that this one it's not as bad as the other two, because, the other two I said were, very bad endings and stuff. But I think that, clearly, Undertale and Deltarune are connected, and Deltarune clearly seems like a prequel, because of, all the postcard shenanigans with Sans, how the monsters are up, but, all of them, they're definitely not completely connected, but how I do think they're connected is that, what I said, is it's a prequel to Undertale, and it's gonna lead into something like Undertale. But I think the world is basically just going to become a dark world. The entire world will be one, which I'm not sure if that's the roaring or not. I think it could be. Either way, I think that's what's going to happen. But it's not going to be the whole world. It's only going to be Hometown. And it's basically just going to become the underground. And the barrier would rather be sealing the fountain, which they would need a human soul to do that. So they're going to be trying to defeat Chris. It's probably, all these theories are pretty bad, but I'm kind of making them up on the spot, so who cares? And I think this is actually just going to be the final one, because I don't want this to be too long. So theory 5, I think. And my final theory for today Let me think. I'm just gonna pause the recording and think. Papyrus is the Roaring Knight.